Chapter 15. Smells like Sleezeazys. Amortentia. I had completely forgotten that this study session might include exposure to a love potion, in the presence of the one who already owned my heart. My stomach jolted, and I prayed Ominous wouldn't notice the way I shifted from foot to foot. Of course he did. "Where should we start?" I asked, my voice breathless. The alternative wasn't much better. Veritaserum. The thought of testing that potion made my stomach twist.
I doubt I'd be very productive after drinking something that induces death-like sleep.
Ominous mused, unknowingly rescuing me from my spiraling thoughts.
So, Amortentia or Veritaserum?
I'm doomed. I stalled, trying to mask the desperation in my brain as it calculated which potion was less likely to expose me. Amortentia is easy enough to test. We'll know it's correct by its colour and scent without having to drink it. Let's start there. Yes, safe, manageable. I could do this. Ominous nodded, setting up his kettle with effortless composure. Blue flames nipped at the base, and a faint smirk curled his lips.
So, you don't want me coaxing all your secrets out of you?
He teased. I gaped, tension melting into outrage. "You're right, I don't," I shot back, trying to inject cockiness into my voice. He chuckled.
Amortentia it is then. Convenient. That's the one I'm best at.
He gestured smoothly.
Your turn. Talk me through it. I'll step in if you get stuck.
Reminding myself that potion making was why we were here, I stepped forward and straightened my shoulders. "First, I'll grind the dried flutterby-bush flowers into a fine powder," I explained, waiting for his approving nod before setting to work. Minutes slipped by. To my surprise, I focused easily, words flowing as I talked him through each step. It felt strange, being observed instead of observing. My hands moved on autopilot, while he occasionally murmured a quiet, "Very good," or leaned closer to test the air. Still, half an hour later, my cauldron remained stubbornly colourless and odourless. "Are you sure I'm doing this right?" I asked, stirring anti-clockwise.
Very sure.
Ominous replied calmly.
I can smell it developing. Each stage has its own scent.
He inhaled again and gave a small nod. I blinked. "That's impressive. I can't smell a thing yet."
Being blind has its advantages.
He admitted softly, though his tone wavered slightly. "I've watched you in potions," I said carefully. "With your braille book, your wand, always so precise. I've wondered how you do it. Honestly, it's fascinating." A hint of red dusted his cheekbones and he cleared his throat.
I can always tell what's in my own containers. But Sharp's bottles are identical, so every lesson starts with me figuring it out all over again. It wastes time.
That sounds incredibly frustrating.
It is, but my nose makes up for it. I was dreadful at potions when I was younger.
He admitted with a self-deprecating smile. "You mentioned a long line of disasters," I prompted, curiosity slipping through. He smiled, gaze drifting lazily.
Second year, I panicked during an exam because I couldn't find salamander blood. Tried summoning it and ended up knocking half my ingredients over. Nearly plunged my hand into the cauldron trying to fix the mess.
I winced. "Merlin."
Another time I summoned flobberworm essence, and instead of just my bottle, every bottle in the room flew at me. Some uncorked. The stuff was everywhere. Sebastian slipped in it trying to help. Sharp was livid, but I think he pitied me enough to skip detention. Instead, he banned summoning charms in class and, in my third year, began tutoring me in legilimency to sharpen my senses. The fact that I can identify brewing stages by smell is largely thanks to him.
I leaned closer, guilt stinging my gut for the low opinion I'd held of Sharp. "Merlin!" I had no idea, I breathed. "I'm sorry you had to go through that, but..." A grin escaped despite myself. "I would have paid to see Sebastian slipping in flobberworm essence."
Sebastian's constant involvement has been both blessing and curse. You've seen the curse.
I snorted.
But he's always been supportive. He accepted me as I was, never treated me differently, not for my blindness, nor for my lineage. After the flobberworm incident, I was so mortified I stayed in bed a week. He snuck food from the Great Hall so I wouldn't have to face anyone. Since then, I've learned to recover from my blind boy moments faster. Sebastian hasn't been uninvolved in that either.
His tone was light, but my chest tightened. A dull ache settled there, the familiar gnawing of jealousy. Jealousy for everyone who had been part of their story before me. Natty, who had witnessed ominous dripping in slime. Henrietta, who'd battled Anne for top marks at 11. Gareth, who'd seen Sebastian's duelling obsession begin. Even Drogon Malfoy, who had simply shared a dormitory with them. I had missed it all. Sebastian's first visit to the hospital wing after his Quidditch tryout. Ominous hiding under blankets, convinced he wasn't good enough. 16 years had been carved into them without me. And yet, I wanted every single one.
Wait,
he said suddenly. I froze mid-motion, a jar of lacewing flies hovering over my cauldron.
you have to drain them in rose oil first,
He reminded gently.
and you skipped a stir in between.
Then he flashed that smile, the one that showed his dimples. My heart gave a ridiculous lurch, as if it had just been steeped in rose oil. Right, I murmured. Thank you. With what I hoped was a steady hand, I followed his instructions. The instant I added the oil-soaked flies, the potion shifted hue, mirroring the warmth creeping up my face. Little spirals curled upward, delicate and shimmering. I sprinkled in the final ingredient, and the pearl dust melted into the soft pink brew, leaving a mother-of-pearl sheen. Then the scent hit me, and I knew I'd gotten it right. It was intoxicating, familiar and comforting, yet just out of reach. My breath caught as I tried to place it, but the answer slipped through my fingers. Even as it pulled me closer, I could still detect the damp stone walls and the faint tang of fire beneath the cauldron. A flicker of confusion stirred. The last time I'd faced Amortentia, I had smelled nothing. My pulse quickened.
Smells like it's ready.
Ominous said cheerfully, drawing the fragrance toward himself with a flick of his hand.
Nicely done.
The praise sent warmth rushing through me. Without your help with the flies, it would have failed, I mumbled, wincing at how pathetic it sounded. He chuckled.
Oh, come now. You did brilliantly and you know it.
Then he turned toward me. Though his eyes couldn't see, it felt as if his gaze pinned me in place.
Now tell me,
He said.
what does it smell like to you? I'm curious.
I froze. The question was so bold, so bare, it knocked the breath from my lungs. Foggy from the potion's spirals, I scrambled for composure. I cast a quick glance toward the door. It was closed, trapping us with that treacherous vapor curling along the vaulted stone above. Well, that's rude, I deflected, forcing a grin. Why should I tell you if you won't tell me first? Besides, I'm not even sure what I'm smelling. He frowned, genuine confusion knitting his brows.
What do you mean you're not sure? How can you not know what Amortentia smells like to you?
I don't know, I snapped. All I smell is musty dungeon walls and fire. Ominous went utterly still. Then slowly, disbelief bloomed across his face.
Merlin.
He whispered.
Nina, are you saying you have a crush on Professor Sharp?
What? I gasped, scandalized. No! You! What is wrong with you? Delighted by my outrage, he stepped closer.
Don't blame me. What else am I supposed to think when you say your love potion smells like damp stone and something burnt?
He laughed outright, turning toward the cauldron as though the potion itself might confirm his theory. Your turn, I blurted, desperate to shift the focus. I told you mine. Now you tell me yours. Ominous reached for an empty flask instead, deftly bottling the potion with practiced touches. I waited, watched.
There is no way I'm admitting that.
He said at last, lining up 4 neat vials on the bench. Come on, I told you mine.
I'm not quite satisfied with your answer, though.
He teased, lips curving. Those bloody spirals. Not fair, I huffed, snatching one of the steaming bottles. Fine, I'll smell it in fresh air. Then I spun toward another station.
Are you saying I smell bad?
Ominous called after me, dry sarcasm masking genuine concern. I rolled my eyes. Of course not. I lifted the flask to my nose. And then... Oh. I understood. The scent hadn't changed. It was the same as before. I had simply been too distracted to recognize it. Without Ominous standing so close, without the quiet pull of his presence, I could finally trace the smell back to its source. The damp stone, the lingering fire, the undercroft.